Hello and welcome to Not That This, the pop culture talk show where I interview artists and influencers to find out their fool's gold and hidden gems. Those massively popular things that they hate and those unknown or underrated masterpieces that they love. My name's Geraint Evans and I don't have time to go into it. This is episode 8. I want you to have a creative voice in this podcast, so I'm allowing you to choose my theme tune. You're currently hearing one of the options. I'll tell you how to vote at the end of the episode. Today's guest is Becky Brunning. I actually know Becky a little bit from my time as a stand-up comic. She's brilliant at that. But you will most likely know her from her incredible performance as Lindsay Lucas from ITV's hit award-winning drama Broadchurch, starring David Tennant and Olivia Colman. I had a whale of a time speaking to Becky. We don't really hang out enough in my book, but I really enjoy it when we do. I hope you do too. Here's the interview. Hello, Becky.
Hello. Yeah, right.
Well
right?
done.
Yes.
Yeah. Becky's been struggling to learn how to pronounce my name.
And it's not like I've just met you either. I always struggle.
What, just generally in
Just
life?
generally, but particularly with your name, because I know like how much of a dick I would be to keep getting it wrong.
Yeah, it's a funny thing, I think, Welsh names, because they're so close to England, but people still think, oh, that's a rare name. That's the I was like, I knew 3 of them in school. Like, it's not a thing. So, I mentioned at the top, you're a comedian and an actor and a writer as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
Ish. I say that, but my output is minimal. But I have written things and I do write things, but maybe not enough.
Okay. So you've just done the Edinburgh Fringe with your show, which is called?
It's called Beaming.
Beaming.
Yeah.
Get to go along with your smile.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I try and hook them in with a smile, because not got a funny title.
How did that go? You were in the Pleasance, right? You were.
No, I drank in the Pleasance.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I met you in the Pleasance.
Yeah. No, I was in Cabaret Voltaire in the Free
okay.
Fringe.
That's cool. Yeah.
And I was in their little upstairs room, which was great. I mean, it's basically a cupboard. It's not.
Oh god, I went there last year and I saw, is it Faye Tracy with her trombones?
Oh yeah.
That was an intense experience.
A trombone in that room. That's like going to get the front eye.
Yeah. I was sat at the back.
Yeah.
As much as there was a back.
Yeah. It's probably still within range of the trombone when it's fully flexed.
Yeah. So the main thing people would know you from, though, aside from your stand-up career, is your acting. You're in Broadchurch.
Yeah. Aside from my stand-up career, dozens of people know me. I was Lindsay Lucas in Broadchurch.
That's awesome. Like, Broadchurch is such a. I mean, it's won awards, right? Like, it's a big. Show.
Yeah, it's big. It's big.
How did you get that role?
I got that by. Well, they were seeing actors in Bristol. That was my lucky in,
right?
Because obviously we're in Bristol. I'm based in Bristol, and I just had to learn an audition. It was all really secretive. I didn't know it was Broadchurch.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I've got an agent because I've done a bit of TV and adverts and things.
Yeah.
And he sent me this thing, and he said, "Oh, it's this ITV thing, comedy drama." And I was like, "Oh!" And I got the script to learn, and it was pretty much the first scene where Olivia and David, I've actually forgotten their names, Miller and Hardy, kind of interview me. So it was like a really serious scene, very sad. And I was reading this not knowing what it was, and they'd changed the character names, so there were no clues. And I just thought, they've not got the comedy right on this.
So you thought they were looking for comedians?
I did, yeah. And my agent said, just go in and make them laugh. And I was like, I don't see how with this. So I kind of went against that. I thought, I'm just going to play it straight. And and then I got it. And then I found out it was Broadchurch. And I was like, whoa.
Yeah, that's huge.
Yeah.
Like, I think Broadchurch, because of the creator, Chris Chibnall.
Yeah.
It's quite a good thing for an actor to have on a CV, because he's quite open about the fact that he only works with nice people.
Yeah.
Like, that's his thing.
Yeah, and it was like so people were so nice, and I was kind of struck by that because I really felt like the fish out of water and trying to fit in and be cool, but just over laughing at everything everyone said. But everyone was so down to earth and friendly and made it really nice. It was a fun place to work, despite it being a horrible storyline of intense trauma.
Yeah, I mean, it's not an easy watching show, Broadchurch.
No.
Are you getting other stuff off the back of it? Are you looking for that even, or are you concentrating on other projects? Like, I don't.
Yeah, a bit of both. So
Okay.
I just did a thing for Damned, which is a Joe Brand sitcom about social workers.
Yeah.
Alan Davies, and I got a part in that as a result of it.
That's really exciting.
Oh, I'm not sure actually if I'm allowed to say. I won't say what I am, but I might have been a bit typecast.
Right, okay.
But in a different way. It's obviously a comedy, which was great, and it's only a small part, but that was really exciting.
Yeah, no, that's loads of fun.
And then I was working on doing my first stand-up show, so I've been putting quite a lot of time. Went to Australia with that, and then Edinburgh.
That's awesome.
And now I'm a bit like, oh right, what now?
Yes, the difficult second album.
Yeah, exactly.
Second Edinburgh show.
So yeah, but hopefully some more acting stuff as well.
Yeah, I mean, I remember the first time I saw you acting. I think it was a car advert, wasn't it?
Yes.
I was just watching telly normally, going, "Is that Becky?"
Yeah. Yeah. I reached the level of fame of people that I knew and nobody else.
Well, that's what everyone's got to start somewhere, right?
Yes,
That's the thing. So how did you're taping your show actually tomorrow, aren't you?
Yeah.
I say tomorrow. Whenever this goes out, it'll be
It'll be done. Yeah.
That's quite exciting. You were just telling me before we started recording that it's sold out already.
It has, yeah. And we may have slightly oversold it. I think we just really didn't want to have like 10 people there as the audience for the filming. So we went to town on promoting it and didn't really set ourselves up properly for. Yeah, we introduced ticketing way too late in the game, and now we have maybe got ourselves into a pickle.
Well, I think it's always better to have too many audience members than too few.
We might audition them.
Excuse me, could you just laugh for a minute?
Yeah,
not him. Oh, brilliant. Okay, so on this podcast, you've been thinking about this for a week or so now.
Yeah.
I asked people for their fool's gold and their hidden gems. So, Becky, what is your fool's gold? What is really popular that you hate?
Yeah, I've got two for this.
You've got two?
I've got two.
What, you're the most prepared person ever. Yeah.
One is It's a Wonderful Life. The film.
The famously popular, like... Okay, alright, so why It's a Wonderful Life?
So, I mean, yeah, everybody gets very nostalgic, puts it on at Christmas, lovely story, but, and I do like it, but I remember when I first saw it, and I kind of came to it knowing how hyped it was and how people rated it, and so all the way through George Bailey, it's kind of the cross between Scrooge and Sliding Doors.
Yeah.
He sees how important he's been in people's life and how he's really kind, and he puts everybody before himself, and he's had these long held dreams to go travelling and see the world, and then he's going to get married and go on honeymoon, and then the whole money gets... I feel like I don't need to explain the plot of It's a Wonderful Life, but the whole sort of point of the film is meant to be that he should be happy with himself because he's put everybody else first and he's really kind, and then at the end everybody comes back together and helps him out, and it's a lovely warm feeling, but he never gets to go travelling. That's all he ever wanted to do. I kind of watched it and I was like waiting for the and then end credits and he's off seeing the pyramids and he's and he's not, and it's like, no, this is all you need. It's like, no, there's a world out there, George, get out there. It really upsets me that he never...
So, yes.
His dream just dies, and it's it's about helping other people. No, George, be selfish. Take some time for yourself. So yeah, I get really upset about it even now.
So I love that. So It's a Wonderful Life is not, like, I think the film is fine. I find it really interesting that film was not popular when it first came out.
No, yeah,
It was not
wasn't.
a big thing. They forgot to renew the copyright or whatever on it, and so TV companies just went, oh, that's Christmassy, we'll stick that.
Yeah.
It's not really, it's all about a man contemplating suicide.
Yeah.
At Christmas.
Yeah.
And so it's this weird artifact, I think, this thing where it almost becomes popular because it's forced on you, because any company can use it for free. It's just, every Christmas every channel's going to have that at some point.
Yeah.
But I've never really analysed the message of it in the way that you have.
It just struck me because, like the whole way through we see like he's got all these pictures. He's a dreamer and he's a good guy. He deserves to go travelling.
He deserves what he wants, yeah.
Yeah. I think I just find it really claustrophobic that he just needs to stay in that little town and be everybody's good guy. It's like, oh no, George.
It's almost quite pressuring, isn't it? Like, if you weren't here, everyone's life would be destroyed. But that I suppose does apply to, I mean, you don't have to die. Like, if you just weren't here.
I mean, so you just have to give up your own life and your own happiness for everyone else. I mean, I read it with very selfish viewpoint. It probably says way too much about my outlook on life, but that reminds me of the saying, you've got to put your own oxygen mask on first before helping others. Like, he needs a bit of that. He needs a shot of the...
Yeah, just go travelling, take 6 months, take a year.
Yeah, he's going to get a hatchet out 10 years down the line and just go on a massive rampage.
She's screaming Clarence.
Yeah.
Okay. So is there, I suppose, do you think that tells you something about your own character?
Maybe. Maybe quite worrying. Like, I'll lend you a £5, but I'm not giving up my holiday.
Right, yeah. Well, just because, like I mentioned, Chibnall working with nice people, but that is also...
Yeah,
what
so here's the
about.
exception.
No, that's what everyone says about you. Like, oh, I love Becky, she's lovely. Like, that's...
Yeah, it's just they don't know. They don't know my hidden depths.
The demon eyes under the surface.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've got two fool's goldses.
Yeah. Okay, and the other one.
The system.
Yeah, because I couldn't pick. I was like, oh, which one? The other one, croissants.
Croissants.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I'm talking about a plain croissant, like an almond croissant, not at all, or a pan au chocolat, great.
Right,
Danish,
okay.
brilliant. It's the plain croissant because they are unashamedly calorific, but quite boring.
Yeah, they're quite like, I always hate a continental breakfast.
Yeah,
and they're like,
but if you get a bit of flavour, if you get a bit of almond flavouring, or if you get, a bit of kick to it, that's fine. I mean, it's okay. I think that's what I hate about it. I will eat them, and I resent them for that, because with jam on, they're fine, but they're not worth like the enjoyment versus the calories. Is just for me. He's a bit neurotic about trying to be healthy. I love eating, so it's kind of a constant battle, and I see the croissant is like a real mean player.
Yeah, I mean, croissants are a bit weird because I find them a bit... I mean, it's just air surrounded by pastry.
Yeah.
There's nothing to them, really.
Yeah, but they're full of lard or butter.
So you think they should commit more? Like, if you're going to be...
It's like somebody that comes in and just takes up the whole room and shouts, and they've not really got anything that much to say. Well, I could think of some people.
Every stand-up comedian.
Yeah.
So, like, with croissants, they're a bit... Croissants, they're a bit weird, right, I think, because they seem to take so much effort to create.
Yeah.
For, like, nothing. Like,
exactly.
It's like bread, but more complicated.
Yeah, way more complicated. And, like, just a good bit of bread, a good bit of toast and jam, it's equally as good as a croissant. But the croissant is going to bring you down. It's going to heart disease you up, That's... Do you see?
I do see. Becky's just filled with rage here.
Yeah. And it's because I can't say no to them. That's the biggest thing. Is if I'm offered a croissant, then I'll have a croissant.
Yeah. Well, it's like plain crisps, isn't it? It's like, what's the point of you? But if you put a bag in front of me, I will just devour them.
Yeah.
and feel bad about myself afterwards.
That's a good comparison. If they've got salt and pepper, then that's fine.
Right, okay, yeah.
The crisps now, not
The
croissants.
crisps, not the croissant.
Salty croissant.
Okay. So it's what? Do you think there's any linking material between those two? Or?
There's definitely a bit of rage.
Maybe it's that the croissants need to go out and live life and get a bit of almond. Maybe
it's the boring option.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, it's the safe, boring, but is it really worth it? Is it everything that it could be? Like, if you're going to eat those calories, why don't you have something great like a custard Danish? Okay. Or if you're going to live, then don't just live in the same little town. Go! Get out there, go!
So, all right, okay. So, if we've identified a sort of link here, do you think there's any?
I think it's that life is worth living.
Okay. Do you think there's any inciting incident in your life that's made you more like, come on?
I grew up in Chippenham.
Right. Yeah.
I had to get out.
To Chippenham.
Yeah.
for a gig that I regretted.
Yeah. It could be that. I didn't know we were going to go this deep.
Well, I didn't know you'd pick two obviously linkable subjects like It's a Wonderful Life and plain croissants.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Shall we find something else then? Shall we see what it is that you love? What's your hidden gem? How many have you got for this one?
I've just got one because.
Okay. All right.
I realise I don't. I'm not cool to like. Hey, have you heard of this band? Coldplay, yes. No, I'm not a big fan of Coldplay. There is one song I like.
Okay.
So I've kind of gone with this. It's more of a guilty pleasure.
All right.
And when I say it's underrated, it's only underrated by people with taste.
Okay, right. So any sort of discerning human might not like this.
Yeah, it's quite popular.
Right. Okay.
I'm just embarrassed. It's the sitcom Goodnight Sweetheart.
Okay, all right.
Nicholas
So that's like
Lyndhurst.
Was it 90s?
Yeah, it was in the 90s. And they did a special episode in 2016.
I saw, for was it Comic Relief they were doing them for, or?
Yeah, I don't actually know.
So they did a few, didn't they, of different old shows?
Yeah. And it's really bad. It's really cheesy, but it's really formulaic. But I just love it.
Okay. So for anyone who doesn't know Goodnight Sweetheart.
Yeah. So, man, what a setup. So there's Nicholas Lyndhurst. And this is total 90s. He's a disillusioned TV repairman.
Yeah.
Bored with his life. He's got a wife who's naggy and, bad woman. He's the kind of put upon man. And then one day he discovers that he can be a time traveller. There's this one little lane he goes down in London that takes him back to the Blitz.
Yeah.
And so he starts a double life. And he meets a barmaid there. He basically becomes a bigamist, but in two
different time periods.
Yeah. And then there's all these little knowing references. Then he sets up a shop about the selling war stuff in London. And he says he's a spy and gets all this knowledge to the Blitz. And he does hilarious things like pretends to write Beatles songs and it's so cliched and bad, but I love it.
this tale of infidelity, time travelling infidelity.
Yeah.
Doesn't he marry them both as well? Like
he does, yeah. and the whole thing is we're just like, oh, Gary, it's totally fine. It's totally misogynist, but I like it.
Yeah, he pretends to be a secret agent, doesn't he? I'm
Yeah.
trying to remember this show as we go.
Yeah, but that's how he.
In the past, not in the present.
Yeah, that's how he that's his cover story for why he's like living this double life. That's why he's away, and then he brings back tights and things and chocolate and it's just really maybe I like the idea of time travel. It's just a fun concept, and they had fun with it, and I'm saying it's bad, but if the writers or anyone is listening and they've got any jobs
Becky would like to
it was of its time, but it was just a really fun concept, and I just was a real sucker for it.
Okay.
It's not very cool though, is it?
I mean, it's not the coolest sitcom I can think of, but there is something really charming about it in that way that sort of a lot of British sitcoms at that time, a lot of them rely on concepts that now I think we'd be disapproving of.
Yeah.
Or at least maybe not the underlying premises, but certainly the content and the jokes that they make maybe are a little bit.
Yeah.
Could you say that in my lifetime? Yes, apparently you could.
Yeah, it's definitely on that line now, because I watched some of it back for this, which was it's a terrible chore. Giggling away. He writes an Adele song in the latest one.
Yes, I do remember that. Yeah.
I find that so and I realise that's the real kind of like lame humour, but
yeah,
I've got a side of me that's quite up for a bit of lameness.
Yeah, I mean, I think we should embrace anything that we like, really. I think that's kind of what this means, this part of the podcast, I think a lot of people are scared to say what they like. And alright, hidden gems, a lot of people pick cool, culty things.
Yeah, I really tried. I used to quite like the Beano.
Oh, the Beano was great.
Yeah, you got sweets. Or was that the Dandy? Or was it both of them? They used to stick refreshers on. Yeah,
I think it was both of them. I used to get both.
Wow. But that wasn't really, I didn't think that was quite a cool cult comic.
I've read an amazing thing. Do you remember Nuts magazine?
Oh yeah.
The horrible lads mag.
Yeah.
When Nuts magazine was still a thing, because Beano had kept raising its prices, but Nuts magazine its whole thing was that it was cheap. You could actually buy a Nuts magazine for less than you could buy a Beano.
Wow. So is that how you transitioned? Did you go from Beano straight to Nuts?
No, I mean, I've never been a Nuts guy, I don't think.
Now's the time, don't be ashamed.
Yes, that's my hidden gem, guys. Lads mags that you can read on a train.
Yeah.
This has gone weird.
You got a pile under the bed.
Yeah. Alright, okay, so Goodnight Sweetheart. Do you think it's the nostalgia that's mainly... Because I find that sometimes I go back to watch stuff that I used to love.
Yeah.
I think, oh, this is actually quite awful when you...
Yeah.
But you can't not love it because it's tied in with all those memories.
Yeah, but I think that's definitely part of it, and I love a period drama, or I was going to say something historical. I just love different times being brought to. I get really excited.
Yeah.
And whenever I'm at a museum or like learning some history, I'm like, I want to see this on telly. I want to see a film about this, because I guess my imagination fails me. So I'm like, I just really liked all the little knowing, all the things that you know about the war. And oh God, I'm hearing myself speak and going, shut up.
There's a lot of people that are into very boring things, but that's fine. No, who doesn't like a good museum?
Yeah.
Lots of people, I imagine, but they've just not found a museum for them. That's fine.
I'm not like, I like a good museum, but I'm always there wanting to see it on TV, which is the...
Right, so you're in a museum going, I hope one of the other people here is like a producer.
Yeah. Let me see it. Sounds good. God.
So do you watch like a lot of historical like period pieces, like I don't know, Outlander or something? Or
no.
No, just purely Goodnight
Just
Sweetheart.
Goodnight Sweetheart. I mean that's my range. That's given me all I need.
I know what the war was like now.
Yeah, that's where I get all my facts. Blackadder. We watched that in history. Dances with Wolves. Yeah.
Wow, okay. Yeah.
All the great, entirely accurate depictions of other eras.
So I find it really depressing to watch Blackadder now, because I loved it growing up. I absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
But I went through it again recently, and it's like every other episode that has a joke to which the punchline is either the Welsh language or the Welsh people.
Okay.
And I'm like, come on, guys.
Yeah.
Like, it's quite depressing for me now, because it's such a brilliant... I mean, Rowan Atkinson is a brilliant performer.
Yeah, he's amazing. And there's some the cast in Blackadder is incredible.
Oh, yeah, I mean, Hugh Laurie is in there. You've got Stephen Fry. You've got Brian Blessed was in one, wasn't he?
Yeah. Miriam Margolyes. She's kind of underrated.
Yeah, no, she is. Yeah,
an amazing actress. I'm not sure where I am on that. Fall on that line,
yeah,
but
I'm not sure. I think actor. I think we just do actor.
I tend to think actor is fine.
Yeah, it's a weird. Well, yeah, we're in this weird position, I suppose. Going back to what I was saying earlier about like how could you say those things in the past, but these words are not actually inherently gendered, but we have added gendered versions.
Yeah.
And so it's quite weird. I mean, we're living in the future, right, where we're dealing with language in an odd way and people's experiences. So, but it's such a fight, isn't it? You can't have the fight, and I don't feel like I've got the right to have this fight. A lot of the time, you know, if I don't know, I tell people off I know, but on the internet, like I'm like, oh, I don't know.
Oh yeah.
Especially when you've got like you do have prominent actors or actresses who say, well, no, that's the word for it. Like, and such, you know,
it feels like that. I mean, comedian. That's definitely that's an easy like. No, get that one out. So I don't know why actor is, but it doesn't seem to have hit the same level of like distaste or something. That just comedian just sounds grating. It's awful.
Yeah, it's not a word. It's part of it. Yeah, it's just. Plus, there's so much stigma in comedy. I think about female performers.
Yeah. There's no need to put that in, or when some. Yeah. Anyway, I don't think we should get into this argument.
We've gone into an odd place.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So, Fool's Gold. You got Croissants and. It's a Wonderful Life.
Yeah.
Not so wonderful.
Maybe It's a Wonderful Life. It just needs. It could be alright if it just needs like another 5 minutes.
Just at the end.
Yeah.
Or like a post-credit scene like they have
now. I could. I'd be up for it then.
Okay. All right.
Because it's an enjoyable film. It's not that I think it's a bad film. It's just that it just finishes in the wrong place.
Yeah. Maybe if they just change the title, like it's a fine life, I suppose.
Yeah. It's life.
It is life.
Yeah.
And Goodnight Sweetheart. Amazing. All right, so let's do some quick fiery type questions.
Yeah.
So here I say quick fire. It's never quick fire. I think Stefan Allen managed to get the quick fire.
Whoa.
But everyone else is like, oh, I like this, and this is why I like it. And that is fine, because that's what this is about, right?
Oh, I see it as a challenge now. I want to be the quickest.
Boom, straight in. All right, okay, so it's just going to be your favourite and your least favourite, bunch of different mediums.
Right.
Okay? So, what is your favourite TV show?
Oh no, this is hard. I'm super indecisive. So what the answers I say are going to be whatever comes into my head. But the caveat is no, not the truth. Father Ted.
Father Ted, that's brilliant.
Came up there, and least favourite GMTV.
GMTV.
I don't know. Top Gear.
Top Gear. Yeah.
Salami Top Gear.
Yeah. Okay.
GMTV. I don't think that's even going anymore, is it?
I literally
no.
I don't even watch proper TV anymore. It's all streaming services. It all comes through my PlayStation.
Yeah.
So no, it might be.
Okay.
I'm sure there's some similar ITV morning equivalent.
Clearly, my inner. What am I talking about? The subconscious.
Right,
the subconscious hates GMTV.
Okay.
Consciously, I wasn't aware.
Alright, so your favourite and least favourite movie?
It is the least favourite, just because it's traumatised me.
Okay.
Not the new one.
Not the new one.
The original.
One. Yeah.
Yeah.
The future traumatiser of children.
Yeah. Just because I was allowed to watch that way too young, and I'm terrified. Yeah. And favourite... Not It's a Wonderful Life. Oh, I love Before Sunrise and Before Sunset.
Okay, I don't know that.
Have you seen them? Oh, I could have had them in my underrated. They're by... Oh, what's his chops? They're set... And there's another one now. Oh, man. I'm really rubbish at this.
Well, I'll Google it.
Ethan Hawke, Juliette Binoche, and that really... Oh. Anyway, they're quite romantic and whimsical and beautiful and...
Okay, that's nice.
Yeah. And Amelie. Oh, I love Amelie. Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Told you I'm indecisive.
All right, your favourite and least favourite book?
Oh, I'm going to go with the best book that I've just read, which
Okay.
is Days Without End by Sebastian Barry. Which
Okay.
is about America, Irish guys that go over, and the American Civil War and the wars on the plains before that, and it's just beautifully written and amazing. It's historical.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
Least favourite book. I also Subconscious popped up again. As a kid, I just loved Not Now, Bernard.
Okay, all right, fair enough.
Least favourite book. I don't know. That's really hard.
See, a lot of people, like, when they... it might not even be a book they finish, like something maybe picked up and gone, oh god, no, not this.
Yeah.
Like, for me, it's a Will Self book. I can't even remember the name of it.
Oh, well, I've tried Will Self and not finished Will Self before. But I just feel inferior to his big mind.
Yeah.
Oh, I've thought of another favourite. How about I just have another favourite?
Alright, okay, yeah, alright, go on then.
Dave Eggers.
Oh, is this The Circle?
No,
Oh.
Heartbreaking Work of Staggering Genius.
Oh, I'll have to...
Which is just amazing, and I got it because I thought that is a great title.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's an amazing writer. I don't know, worst book. Maybe Peter and Jane.
Okay.
Tedious. Those like Jane has a ball. Although I quite enjoy them. No, I don't know.
Okay.
I was just impressed if anyone's like made a book, written a book.
Let's... favourite superhero?
Ooh, Super Gran.
Super Gran?
Yeah.
What's Super Gran?
Oh, that was like a series of kids' books and maybe a cartoon as well
Okay.
in the 90s. She's a superhero, but she's a gran, and she's got like a handbag, and yeah, she's cool.
Nice. Is she an actual
Super
old
Ted
woman?
as well. I love Super Ted.
Super Ted is great.
Yeah.
Okay. Least favourite superhero?
Ooh, I don't know. Just tell me some superheroes. None of the big ones.
None of the
They're all fine.
The big ones are all fine.
Yeah.
Oh God. So the obscure ones.
Like, I don't know. Why would I not like a superhero? I'm trying to summon up
Okay. Well, that's fine.
hatred.
You just love all superheroes. That's cool.
Maybe. No, I like Superman, especially when he was Dean Cain. Batman's kind of cool. Spider-Man's... Tobey Maguire, yeah, he was great.
Just a fan of superheroes. That's fine.
Yeah, who's your least favourite? Maybe I can...
My least favourite. I mean, oh God, I don't write these questions, so I have to answer.
Yeah, see, it's hard.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's not necessarily the actual superhero, but maybe the way in which a writer has chosen to portray them. So, like, I don't know. I think Batman these days is a bit dull because it's all the same grim, dark.
Okay.
like-
Okay. You're taking it way more considered than me.
I just think you can have fun with these things, and just generally the superhero genre as well. It annoys me that it's a genre
Yeah.
because it can be
Yeah.
anything. Like Batman is supposed to be the world's greatest detective, but like in films especially, like I never see him detecting.
Yeah, it's true.
It's
It's all
just-
gone a bit shiny and formulaic and sort of snazzy, hasn't it?
Yes. All right then. Your favourite? I can't remember what I've done. We've done band, book. Have we done band?
Oh, no, we haven't done
A
band.
band or musician or
Ooh, going with Arcade Fire again.
Okay. Solid choice.
Top of the head. They're just amazing and make me feel emotions. Least favourite. D-Ream.
Okay.
Again, that's the subconscious just playing up. I get ABBA songs annoy me. I get really annoyed
Really?
by ABBA. Yeah.
We should have talked about that.
Yeah. But in a similar way to a croissant, in that you will dance if you're at a wedding, and you kind of hate yourself for it.
Yeah, you're just very aware of how uncool you look.
Yeah. And they're just overplayed. Yeah, let's go with ABBA.
Okay. All right. So we'll do one last question. If someone were to make the story of your life, what medium would it be,
Yeah.
and what would you call it?
Oh. Oh, good question. Maybe one of those spinny things that you look in, and it's like animated.
Okay, all right.
What are they
Like
called?
those old school. It's like the very first sort of kind of filmmaking.
Yeah, something scope. Man, I'm losing all my words. Yeah, maybe one of those. Or basically a flick book, but it looks a bit cooler.
Yeah.
Which I think is probably like me. I'm about that articulate, clearly.
What would you be doing in this little flip?
I've been watching Goodnight Sweetheart. It's dreamy, travelling. I travel.
You travel.
Travel, do some laughing, mainly at myself. Some people sometimes join in. Lots of eating, and then I die.
Right, lovely.
Yeah. And what was the other part of the question?
What
am I doing?
Call that?
What would I call it? Cool Brunnings.
Cool Brunning.
Yeah.
Nice. Nice little Cool Runnings reference.
Yeah. Clearly a show title I've thought of before.
Look out for Becky's second Edinburgh show. Brilliant. Well, thank you, Becky. That's everything, I think. Thank you very much for joining me, coming and sitting in my little office.
Thank you. I love your whiteboard.
It's a great whiteboard, isn't it? I'm a big fan of my whiteboard.
And your pictures of puppies.
So this is... so I got this from my wife's work, because they were getting rid of a bunch of them, but they've...
So you're not actually sponsoring them?
I'm not actually sponsoring puppies, no. So they worked with Guide Dogs for the Blind, helping to get donations for them. They came with that. Yeah, very exciting whiteboard. What a weird way to end a podcast.
I know. Should we explain that, or should we do a different ending?
I think I'm going to keep this because I like the abstract weirdness of it.
Can I just explain then?
Okay.
Geraint.
Yes.
Geraint.
Yeah.
Rhymes with pint. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got 2 pictures of puppies, very cute puppies, saying, "I'm sponsoring Ava, I'm sponsoring Fifi," and I thought, oh, what a good guy. And he's not.
And it's all a lie.
Stealing the glory.
Well, I don't know what to do with like glossy magnetic stickers of dogs.
I think you should just put you should just tip X out that I'm sponsoring and maybe just have their name and like...
Okay, so future people will not think that I'm a good guy. Yeah. All right, I'll do that just for you. Yeah. Brilliant. Thank you very much, Becky.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Wow, so that was Becky. She's so modest, especially when talking about herself and her stand-up. For me, she's one of those rare acts that refuses to take the easiest route to a laugh. There are no cheap shots in her work, and in my opinion, to do that and still be funny requires an incredible mastery of your craft. You should really check her out if you can, and of course, watch Broadchurch if you haven't done that already. It's brilliant. Thank you very much for tuning in. If you'd like to support the podcast, you can do that at thatthispod.com. I don't advertise on this show, it just feels a bit weird to me, so anything you give literally goes straight into making more of this. And I've got some rewards on the website there for you as well. As I mentioned at the top, you can help me choose the theme tune for this show. The first 5 episodes all have different music, which I will then repeat over episodes 6 to 10 and episodes 11 to 15. I didn't realise that episodes 10 and 11 would be going at the same time because I'm a bit of an idiot, so to make it fair, they'll all get one more playthrough. There are 3 ways that you can vote, either by making a comment on your donation to the podcast, by reviewing the show on iTunes, or you can share the podcast on social media, making sure to tag me in at thatthispod, so that I know which episode you want. I've come up with a fun little code. In the comment in your donation or in the review or share of the show, just include the word Ocelot for the music in episodes 1, 6 and 11, Tiger for episodes 2, 7 and 12, Thrush for episodes 3, 8 and 13, Fox episodes 4, 9 and 14, and Falcon for the music in episodes 5, 10 and 15. I'll tally them up, and whatever you decide will be the official Not That This theme music, and I will be giving extra points for creativity in using those words. Of course, if you've got anything else to say, you're welcome to email me. I'd love to include some letters in this podcast now and again, So if you've got some praise, advice, questions, suggestions or abuse, do let me know. The email address is on the website, or if you know how to spell my name, it's Geraint@thatthispod.com. In the next episode, which is already up, I speak to Jeffrey Craner. He's one of the writers and creators of the incredible and incredibly popular podcast, Welcome to Night Vale. He's also a writer and creator on my favourite fiction podcast, Within the Wilds. I'll catch you then.